The Sustainable Development Goals that have been announced in the UN General Assembly is focusing on 17 goals. The 17 goals is addressing poverty and hunger. The idea is to solve such type of problems within the coming 20 years or 23 years. So by 2030, this have to be deployed. Egypt have participated in the development in this plan and have put it in consideration in developing the Egyptian strategic plan for 2030. The President Sisi have, if we go back to his speech, he have divided his speech for 3 parts. One for the development in Egypt. Second was for Egypt stands for the positions of what's happening in the Middle East. The third was about fighting terrorism. If he focusing or if we spoke about the first part, which is development in Egypt, he give highlights that we are focusing in investment in people, taking care of people, opening investment initiatives. He spoke about Suez Canal new project. It is not only the gift for the world from Egypt, it is like giving hope for the Egyptian to work, giving different economical incentives in order for the Egyptian people to work. Also, if we see, according to the Economic World Forum, we have been progressed from 119 to 116. With this considers the first progress since 2011. So in the point of view of development, I think we are in the beginning of a good shape. If you're looking to the sustainable development, you should include different variables. It is not only machine, it is not only land. It should include people, it should include health, it should include education, it should include transportation, it should include security. So it is an integrated system. Prior to 2013, President Sisi was focusing on stabilizing the security of Egypt. Even if some concerns was regarding democracy and so on, but the priority was to making Egypt stable, secure.
The message itself, I guess, this year,
it is totally different. If you look, this is his second visit to the United Nations.
Right.
See the amount of attention that have given to the President Sisi now compared to the first time.
And the cloud of Egypt.
And cloud of Egypt. He was the head of the Environment Committee. Egypt is asking for non-permanent seat for Security Council. Egypt is part of a lot of side meetings that have been done regarding security and stability in the Middle East. So Egypt is coming back very, very strongly in the international arena. And I see that President Sisi have succeeded in his message. He was very clear in his message regarding the development in Egypt. Also, he spoke about terrorism, and he eager the United Nations to have a proactive action plan against extremists, okay? And he gave a very strong message that me as an Egyptian or a Muslim, I was very touched. He said, how many Muslims have to die in order to the world to recognize that Muslim and non-Muslim are facing the same terror?
Right.
Okay, this is a very strong message. This
and
is
Egypt
a very
was
clear...
also among the first countries calling
so
for
we are suffering.
Different religious dialogue.
We are suffering from extremists. So whatever dialogues coming from the West claiming that Muslim or Islam is trying to hit the West and so on, this is totally not true. If you speak about the stance of Egypt regarding the Middle East issues, you'll find that we were very clear regarding Syria to be kept as one country, one nation, one stable nation.
Right. Also,
President Sisi have give an invitation to the different parties or stakeholders in Syria to come and have a dialogue inside Egypt in order to put the Syrian people as a priority and to reduce the bloodshed that is happening here. I believe also that the discussion like Russia engagement in Syria, Egypt was informed, Jordan was informed, and other countries was informed. So I think there is some kind of coordination, and I think after such type of military engagement in Syria, there will be the next step to go for a political dialogue in order to reduce the amount of catastrophe in Syria. Also, he gave a good example of Libya. He said, see extremists what they have done to Libya. They transferred Libya from a state of prosperity to a failed state. And they are trying to do the same to Egypt and Algeria. So he's very focusing that Egypt will not reach this stage. Extremists, if they reach the regimes, they will destroy any nation and they will kill any nation. So I see that his messages was very strong and very clear. There was a lot of appreciation from different presidents and
the stances of different countries has changed.
Have changed, yes. Have changed. If you go to the geopolitical situation in Middle East, it's totally have been changed dramatically in the last 3 years.
Dr. Karim, if we try to review the Egyptian stance before and also the representation itself, I mean, the moves last year at the United Nations, definitely there is a difference this year, and
yes.
also in message was received, and also how it has changed other countries' stances, right?
Yes. If you see that President Obama, even if it was not scheduled to make some kind of a meeting with President Sisi, he tried to have an informal discussion with President Sisi. President Sisi was invited for discussing the ISIS issue in Middle East and the conflict or regarding security issue in the Middle East. Also, if you look at a couple of media channels in United States have covered a couple of conversations or interviews with President Sisi, especially CNN, and there was a lot of sensitive questions that have been asked regarding the relation with Iran, if you are going to go for nuclear weapon or not, and so on. Regarding democracy, all of the concerns that was can be questions for the American people or for the Western audience. So the media coverage is totally different compared with the first visit. So there is some attention is coming now. Also, President Sisi have
no more explanation, you know. For the situation,
it's not an explanation. It is clarifying our position clearly and making sure that our voice is going to the right people. President Sisi also have thanks Egyptian expats living in U.S. and Western countries, because he said your engagement to support your country, reflecting your the voice of Egypt, the real voice of Egypt, and our point of view is very important. The uses of social media and so on. In parallel to this, some conflicts happen regarding opponent and proponent journalists to President Sisi. Of course, some indecent action have been taken against journalists supporting President Sisi. But all of this reflects that we are going in the right direction. Also, a lot of meetings was in parallel to the assembly. So President Sisi have met different prime ministers, like the Greece prime minister, like Serbian prime ministers and Italian and the Dutch prime minister. So different meetings have been in parallel in order to encourage the economical and the political dialogue between the two nations. Some of the meetings was not officially announced, like the foreign minister of Egypt and the foreign minister of Iran, in order to lose down the situation in the Middle East. So all of this is giving a green light that we are progressing in the right direction. The speed that we are looking for more. Again, using your channel, the Egyptian TV should have stand outside of Egypt. The Egyptian voice should reach outside. We should have different language channels in different countries. We should reach these countries, nations. Why? Because you have different channels who are representing different
and address
lobbies.
The other through their language.
Yeah, through their language and through the communication, because you have different political lobbies outside.
Right.
They are trying to differentiate and try to give different messages, different from what is happening inside Egypt. So they are showing Egypt it is not democratic. It's showing Egypt we are suffering inside. We are in a civil war and so on. So we should, as President Sisi said, we should be more stronger in giving our voice and our representation and messages.
And be objective, I mean.
And be objective and be fair. And
be transparent.
Honest, yeah, and be transparent. And I believe we have the tools and the capabilities, but coordination inside and outside. We have a lot of qualified and professional Egyptian expats outside that can help Egypt very strongly. Of course, if they can organize unions or groups and so on, we can have our own lobbies. Why we don't have our own lobbies in different countries like US or Canada and so on? So we need to go in this direction.
Right.